What if I told you that almost everything you think you know about creating intimacy with a woman might actually be wrong? I'm Dr. Selena Clarke, a urologist with over a decade of experience helping men restore their intimate health. And today I want to share something that could change how you connect with your partner. Most men focus on the obvious places, the lips, the chest, the usual zones. But here's the truth. Those areas aren't even in the top 5 spots that trigger deep emotional connection for women. Science has identified hidden areas on the body that, when touched properly, send direct signals to the brain's reward centers, release bonding hormones like oxytocin, and create a lasting desire for closeness. And by the end of this discussion, you'll know exactly where these areas are, why they work, and how to use them to deepen your connection tonight. The part that makes this really powerful is that this isn't some pickup artist trick or fleeting advice. This is actual medical science, backed by real research published in the Journal of Neuroscience, Clinical Neurophysiology, and the European Journal of Neuroscience. And here's something even more surprising. If you're over 50, you actually have an advantage most younger men lack. These areas respond not just to touch, but to intention, confidence, and the patience to slow down, which mature men often have in abundance. The sad truth is that most men spend their whole lives ignoring these zones. They pass right by nerve clusters that are scientifically proven to trigger connection. They miss neural pathways that link directly to pleasure centers in the brain. As a result, they rarely experience the kind of deep, emotional, physical intimacy that creates lasting bonds. But the good news is that understanding these 5 spots can change everything. Let's start with the first one, the nape of the neck. You've probably heard of it before, but most men are doing it wrong. The soft area just below her hairline holds deep pairs of spinal nerve endings that, when gently stimulated, trigger oxytocin release in the brain. Oxytocin is sometimes called the bonding hormone because it strengthens feelings of trust and closeness. But it's not just about nerves. There's a psychological element too. The back of the neck is extremely sensitive, with thin skin and a high density of sensory receptors. When she allows you to touch this area, she has to trust you completely. That vulnerability combined with nerve stimulation creates profound emotional surrender. Think about it. In nature, showing your neck is a sign of defenselessness. When she exposes hers to you, she's communicating trust at a deep level. To do this right, start by gently brushing her hair aside. Let your fingers graze her skin lightly before placing your lips softly on the nape. Hold your kiss for a few seconds and notice her breathing, then move slightly to the side and repeat. This area responds best to light, deliberate sensations. A combination of touch, soft kisses, and even gentle breath on the skin can create a shiver-inducing reaction. After a kiss, pull back just slightly and let your warm breath linger on the spot. This subtle technique activates more nerve endings and reinforces a sense of connection. The second spot is behind the ear. It's hidden in plain sight and highly sensitive. Many women find even gentle stimulation in this area intensely pleasurable, especially because of its connection to the vagus nerve. This nerve runs from the brain down to the heart and digestive system, controlling relaxation responses in the body. Activating it through careful touch can create a deeply calming, pleasure-enhancing experience. But technique is everything. Light, soft touches work far better than aggressive pressure. Begin with gentle kisses just below the ear and slowly move toward the earlobe. Take it softly between your lips. Then release and let your breath warm the area. Some women love light earlobe kisses. Others may find it intense, so pay attention to her reactions. A whisper combined with touch can double the effect, blending physical sensation with emotional intimacy. Now, the third spot is often completely overlooked, the lower back, specifically the sacrum. This area sits just above the hips and is connected to nerves that reach the pelvic region. Gentle pressure or light massage here can trigger deep relaxation and pleasurable sensations. The nerves in this region link directly to the body's circulation and relaxation centers, so thoughtful touch sends warmth and comfort throughout her nervous system. Research has confirmed that sacral stimulation can create noticeable relaxation and even positive emotional responses. To engage this area, place your palm on her lower back and apply gentle but firm pressure, sliding your hand slowly toward her hips. You can also trace small circles with your fingertips, starting lightly and gradually increasing pressure, or use knuckles to create a soothing wave motion. Pairing this with verbal reassurance can amplify the effect, creating a grounding, connected experience. The fourth spot is one that many men completely overlook, the inner wrist and inner forearm. This area, extending from the wrist up toward the inside of the elbow, is surprisingly sensitive because the skin is thin and packed with nerve endings that rarely get activated in everyday life. This means that when you do engage it with gentle, intentional touch, the sensation can feel unexpectedly vivid and intimate. What makes this zone special is that it's subtle. It's not an overtly sexual area, so stimulating it conveys care and attention without pressure or expectation. It's perfect for quiet, affectionate moments, whether you're sitting together on the couch, sharing a private conversation, or simply holding hands. To use this spot effectively, start by taking her hand gently and turning her wrist upward. Then, with calm and deliberate movements, trace your fingertips along her inner arm, moving from the wrist toward the elbow. Alternate between soft, continuous strokes and brief pauses to let her nervous system register each sensation. If it feels appropriate, a gentle kiss or light tracing with your lips can heighten awareness in this area, but the key is always patience and subtlety. Slow, rhythmic contact allows anticipation to build naturally, creating a quiet but deep connection that's felt more than spoken. The fifth and final spot is the lower abdomen, particularly the area surrounding the navel. This might surprise you, but it's supported by solid neuroscience. The nerves in this area are connected to deeper parts of the body, creating pathways that extend toward the pelvis and spinal region. Stimulating this zone lightly can create sensations that radiate more broadly, producing a warm, calming, and pleasurable effect. The skin around the navel is rich in sensory receptors comparable in density to more commonly recognized erogenous zones, which makes gentle stimulation remarkably effective. When engaging this area, start with slow, circular movements around the lower abdomen, keeping your touch soft and steady. Gradually move closer to the center while pausing occasionally to heighten sensory awareness. If the moment is private and intimate, gentle kisses or tracing motions can further enhance the experience. Pay close attention to her breathing and body language. These are your guides for pacing and intensity. The key is presence. This isn't about moving quickly or performing. It's about creating a space of trust, relaxation, and connection. Now let's tie all of this together. Understanding these spots is only part of the equation. Knowing why they work is equally important. Research shows that most people have similar areas of sensitivity, regardless of age, gender, or cultural background. What makes these 5 spots extraordinary is that they are rich in specialized nerve fibers called C-tactile afferents. Unlike ordinary nerves that respond to pressure or temperature, these fibers are uniquely tuned to gentle, caring touch, the kind of touch that signals safety, affection, and bonding. When you stimulate these areas correctly, you're literally activating the brain's attachment systems. You're triggering the release of oxytocin, reinforcing feelings of safety and trust, and creating neural patterns that link your touch to pleasure and emotional closeness. And here's an important point for men over 50. Your age isn't a disadvantage here. In fact, it can be an advantage. Mature men are often more capable of patient, mindful touch. They're less focused on immediate gratification and more capable of creating the emotional safety that deep intimacy requires. Younger men may rush, but your ability to slow down, pay attention, and be fully present is exactly what makes these techniques so effective. The beauty of these 5 spots is that they can be incorporated naturally into everyday life. You don't need to address all 5 at once. That can be overwhelming. Instead, weave them into moments of closeness. The nape of the neck works when holding her from behind while standing or cooking. Behind the ear fits perfectly into close conversation or whispered moments. The lower back is ideal during massage or intimate embrace. The inner wrist and arm are great for subtle, affectionate touch while sitting together. And the lower abdomen should be reserved for private, trusting moments when physical closeness and emotional safety are already established. What ties all of this together is genuine intention. These techniques only work when your touch comes from real care. Mechanical or rushed gestures are easily detected and fail to produce the same neurological response. Every woman is unique, so paying attention to her cues is critical. She'll lean in, her breathing will change, her body language will guide you. When you respond thoughtfully, every touch becomes communication, every kiss becomes a conversation, and every moment deepens your bond. Now let's talk about integrating all of this into real life. Understanding these 5 spots is one thing, but using them in a way that strengthens your connection requires mindfulness and intention. Don't think of this as a checklist. Think of it as a language. Each touch, each kiss, each gentle movement is a word in the conversation you're having with your partner's body and emotions. The goal isn't performance or results. The goal is presence, attention, and connection. Start with subtle, natural moments. The nape of the neck can be touched while holding her from behind, whether you're sharing a quiet morning or simply standing together. Behind the ear is perfect during close conversation. when you lean in to whisper a word or share a soft laugh. The lower back can be engaged during massage or intimate holding, allowing your hands to convey warmth and security. The inner wrist and forearm are wonderful for gentle, everyday gestures. A hand held across the table, a soft trace of fingers while watching a movie. The lower abdomen, being more sensitive and intimate, should be approached when she feels safe and relaxed, creating private moments of closeness. What makes this approach powerful is that it grows with you. The more attentive you are to her responses, the more natural and meaningful these touches become. Each experience teaches you about her body, her nervous system, and the subtle ways she communicates pleasure and comfort. Over time, you don't just become more skilled, you become more present. Your ability to create connection deepens naturally. This is especially significant for men over 50. Society often tells us that aging limits intimacy, that performance or stamina is the most important factor. The truth is the opposite. You may not have the youthful urgency of a younger man, but you possess something far more valuable: patience, awareness, and the ability to provide emotional safety. These qualities allow you to engage her nervous system, trigger bonding hormones, and create experiences that younger men simply cannot replicate. Intimacy isn't a race, it's a shared journey. And your life experience gives you the tools to make that journey profoundly meaningful. It's also important to remember that every woman is different. While these 5 spots are supported by neuroscience, each individual has unique sensitivities and preferences. The key is observation. Pay attention to how she responds to your touch. Does she lean in? Does her breathing deepen? Does her body relax? These are signals that you're creating the right kind of connection. Adjust your touch, your pressure, and your timing according to her responses, and you'll discover the rhythm that works for both of you. The ultimate goal is deep, lasting intimacy. These techniques are not about seduction or manipulation. They are about creating trust, care, and connection through the body's natural pathways. When you approach touch with intention and awareness, you communicate that she is seen, valued, and safe. You build emotional bonds that endure long after the moment passes. Every kiss, every gentle stroke, every mindful touch becomes a memory etched in her nervous system, a memory of closeness, warmth, and emotional security. So here's what I want you to take away. Focus on intention, patience, and observation. Incorporate these 5 spots naturally into your interactions. Trust your awareness and let your touch communicate care rather than urgency. Recognize that intimacy is not about age, performance, or technique alone. It's about being fully present, attentive, and connected. The real power lies in your ability to provide safety, warmth, and trust. That is what she will remember. That is what she will desire. That is what will keep her thinking of you long after you leave the room. If this has opened your eyes to a new understanding of intimacy, take a moment to reflect on it and consider how you can incorporate these insights into your daily life. Share this knowledge with others who may benefit, and practice these techniques with the mindset of care, patience, and attentiveness. Every interaction is an opportunity to strengthen connection, deepen trust, and create meaningful experiences. Remember, intimacy is a journey, not a destination. With mindfulness, intention, and awareness, you have the ability to create profound, lasting bonds. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to rush. You need only to be present, caring, and attentive. This is the kind of intimacy that lasts, the kind that leaves a lasting impression, and the kind that transforms relationships at any age. I'm Dr. Selena Clarke, and I encourage you to approach your relationships with curiosity, patience, and respect. Deep, meaningful connection is within your reach. Stay mindful, stay present, and let your touch communicate the care and trust that words alone cannot convey. This is the path to intimacy that is as fulfilling as it is scientifically grounded.